Paul, a 4-point weekend. What's your reaction to what you saw?
I'm really happy, Seth. I mean, you know, I think it was no secret that we felt that we were leaking goals and giving our opponents, and they're all good in this league, every opportunity to beat us. And luckily we were still winning, but I felt we were a little bit loose defensively, and that doesn't just mean in our end. I mean, it means on the offensive blue line. And we really worked hard the last couple of weeks and putting that right in practice, and that's credit to the players. And we've thrown a lot at them over the last couple of weeks, and they've repaid themselves, the club, the fans, the coaches, in only conceding 2 goals on the weekend. And Moose has been in fine form, and when we've had some pressure, he's alleviated that, and we've built from that.
What's been the biggest change?
It's just progression. It's just, it happens. You know, you go from playing CHL where we wouldn't take them chances to maybe overplaying in areas where we're a puck possession team, we're a team that likes to manage the puck, we're a team that likes to zip it around, but there's places to do it. And we were doing it in the wrong places, and we didn't this weekend. Or we especially didn't do it in the 3rd period in Braehead. We did at the start of the 2nd, but we regrouped and learned from that. So, yeah, I mean, it's a process. Everything's a process in this sport. And you think you've got it right, and then it breaks down again, and you have to go back to the drawing board and go again. But we'll enjoy this weekend.
When you look at a game progression like that, where it's tight 1st period, tight 2nd period, all of a sudden you take the big opportunities of the game, you make the most of them, and then it explodes like that. How much joy can you take of that as a coach?
Yeah, well, firstly, you have to trust your players, and we trust ours what's the word?
Implicitly?
Yes, that's the word. Thank you. Tongue-tied there. We really, really trust them. Let me bring the accent. We trust them, and we trust them that when they have them opportunities, that we can go and kill a game. And but you have to get yourself to that. You know, Belfast are a very good team. They came here, they played smart in the neutral zone. We had to battle. We scored, you know, on a breakdown on a 2-on-1. You know, to get to the 1 goal. I thought their 2nd goal was, you know, a little fault on our, you know, we broke down a little bit in our D zone, and Shieldsy popped that in for 1-1. But I felt we were just starting to gain some momentum at that point. And in the 3rd period, we did, and we got that 2nd goal. Shieldsy, magical weekend he's had, and we built from that. And then, you know what, we really did go for the juggler then.
Got to mention 2 players. We're going to come to Andreas Valdix in a moment. Guillaume Debienne, the job he did for you this evening, I think that's probably as well as I've seen him play in quite some time.
You know what, it's very, very rare that he has an off night. You know, the reason he's played in the NHL and he's been a leader in the American League is because he does the little things. And if you're a young fan out there watching, or a young player, watch what he does night in, night out. And he may not have the offensive prowess of some of our other guys, but he works so hard for the team. He sacrifices himself. Thought our penalty kill was exemplary today.
And you moved him to take a lot of the face-offs on the penalty kill.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, but we've got 4 main penalty killers that we've given them that job, and we want them to buy into that, which we feel then our more offensive guys are going to be more, what's the word I'm looking for, more energised in the scoring areas, and that's, you know, and that's works. And everyone has to have a role, especially on a team or a 4-line team. You have to have a role, and you have to have a buy-in. And for him to get his goal today, you could see that meant a lot to him. And I thought, yeah, he's been outstanding for us.
What about Valdix? He seems to have got a nice little scoring streak going. He seems to be one of those players that's just starting to blossom now. He's figuring out the elite league.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Seth. I think it took him as well as it did Bjorklund and Nielsen. I think all 3 of the Swedes are really coming to the party. And I don't know if there's a better player in the country right now than Andreas Valdix. I mean, Schultze might argue that as well, because he's had a great couple of weeks. But when you have a good team and you have good depth, you know, there's times when people are going to drop their game, other guys are going to step it up, and we got that tonight. Not drop their game from an effort point of view, but from a points point of view, or a creative point of view. And other guys are stepping up. And you know, we've been without Levi Nelson and Franzen. We lost Ben O'Connor to an injury in the 1st period today. So we've been without some key guys for us. But other guys are stepping up, and we're getting the job done.
Is there any chance at all you can bring anybody in to replace Levi? He's going to be out for potentially 6 weeks, maybe even more.
No, I don't think it's going to be that long. No. Seth, waiting on, I mean, we've had some more news today. So, no, I don't think we'll bring anyone in to replace Levi. I mean, I think he's a couple of weeks away, and
Well, that's great news.
No, it's super news, and you know what? And he energises the building because he's a little crazy, Levi. He scores goals, he makes hits, he runs people over. He'll hit his own players if they're in the way. But he gets, you know, people like him and Debbie and get you going, and create energy for everybody else. And no, I thought great defensive performance tonight, a great overall, and a clutch third period where, when we had to put our foot down on the gas, we executed and got the job done.
Just finally, any word on Ben?
No, he's with the medical team now, and that's a tough one because I think Ben's been one of our standout players, and you can't replace Ben O'Connor. He's British. It's not like he's an import. A lot of teams are carrying spare imports already, you know, in the league, and you know, we haven't got that. So to lose him, you can't replace him. So, you know, young Cole Shudra and Liam Kirk, they're practicing hard with us. They're getting great ice time and confidence with the Steel Dogs. I heard they had a fantastic tournament over in Slovakia with the under-20s there, and you know, we're working with Cole to, you know, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to play him eventually, as a forward or back on D, because he has a lot of his old man's instincts. So it may be that we have to drag him back into the fold here and give him that opportunity. That's why we signed him.
You've just got to hope that he's got the same scriptwriter.
Yeah, well, you know, the pair of them are young, talented boys that have a big future in the game, but let's not forget they're not even on the first rung yet, but they're going the right way.
Derrick, what's your assessment of that performance?
First two periods, thought we played fantastic. We kept our chances down. Thought maybe we even had a couple more than them. Third period, we looked like we ran out of gas a little bit, but I think we got 2Q. We had opportunities in every penalty to get the puck out of the zone to relieve pressure. We didn't do a good job with the puck management, and they get a good power play. It's something, like I said, every week you've tried to find something new to work on. We're going to really address our penalty kill. I thought we were getting momentum in it, but they picked us apart at the end, and then I think towards the end, a couple goals. Like I said, there was a mistake on the referee call. The puck should have been out of the zone. There's no way that puck did not tip one off the player. When all three linesmen missed it, we go 5-on-3. I think frustration, we started running around a little bit. In frustration, we gave up a couple more. And, you know, it's disappointing, but we're getting better. And that's the good news. It's still early days, but this is a team that's had our number, and we got to find out a way to play 3 solid periods to beat them.
It's been a long time since your last regulation win as an organisation here. I think it was back in 2014. Is there any one thing about this building that is making it extra difficult for Belfast?
No, I thought again, for 2 periods, we were as good or better in the first 2, and dictating pace again. I know both teams are missing some bodies. It obviously hurts, and we played last night, and I think our pace dipped down a little bit in the D zone. We just ran out of gas, and when you run out of gas, you start making bad decisions. And you know, we'll continue to work on it. We'll continue to grow, and like I said, I think we're close, but we're not there yet. But again, it's still early days. We just got to find a way to get one. I think once we get one, we'll get another one. But right now, like again, we got to be happy with our performance and just go home and reload on Tuesday and continue to work to get better.
On the whole, as a whole weekend, how do you assess what you've been able to achieve?
Well, Braehead, we played fantastic. It was our best game of the year, and I think it continued on here. I thought the first 2 periods, again, we're still rolling really well. We're making life hard for them to get the puck and get a lot of pressure. But in the third period, they found a way to get out on their forecheck and get some pressure on us. Then it just looked like tie-inners came in and careless mistakes, and it came back to hurt us.
So 5 out of 6 periods were pretty good. Yeah. How would you assess where the team is now compared to 12 months ago?
Well, we've made changes. We made a lot of changes. We've got a little bit more speed, a little bit more balance throughout the lineup. You know, it's hard to see, but because of the injuries we have. But you know, I thought Garside stepped up and played well. Shed's stepped up, and one of our top lines is playing well. Our goaltending, you know, I think he got outplayed. I'm not blaming our goaltending tonight. I think the Sheffield goalie was a little better than ours tonight. He made some big saves. But the way you got to look at it is, we're there. Sheffield played a lot of exhibition games. They played at a higher level than us. They've been playing Nottingham, been playing Cardiff. So they're just a little bit above us right now on the pace. So we're trying to get there, and we grew from the Cardiff game. Again, with Cardiff, we had 1 good period, then we fell apart. Tonight we had 2 good periods. Hopefully next time we meet these guys, we'll have 3.
Just finally on yourself, you're into your 2nd season now. How different are you as a coach from 12 months ago?
I'm trying to stay patient, trying to keep a level head. Trying to separate myself from the guys as much as possible, because it's, you know, when I'm going to have to make that a tough decision, I don't want any emotion in it. I got to go what's best for the team and best for the organization. But I also figured out how I want to play, what type of team I want. Last year we had a lot of guys that I was unsure of. starting to figure out the league a little bit more and starting to understand what we're going to need to win. Now we got to figure out a way to get healthy and maybe get another body in here so we can get a full roster in here.
Is there a good chance of that happening?
Well, I gotta wait for a couple injuries. I'll hopefully get a couple reports Monday or Tuesday, and then I'll sit down with my boss, Steve Thornton, who's done a great job for us this year, and see what we can figure out together. What's the best option, and if there's someone up there maybe can fill in for a couple weeks, we'll maybe take a stab at him.